In this video, I'm going to share the 7 things that daughters need to hear from their fathers. So let's get started. Alright, so being a father, it's a lot of fun. We get to play, we get to roughhouse, we get to roll around, we get to go play catch in the backyard, we get dad jokes. I mean, come on, what's better than dad jokes? It is fun to be a father. But there's something that's interesting about a father. You have a unique voice in the life of your daughter. There's no one else who can say the things you say the way you say them from you. Just like mom has a unique voice. But this message is to the guys as fathers. There's no one else on the entire planet who has your voice as her father. So there's some things that she needs to hear from you. I'm primarily talking to fathers who have younger daughters here. If your daughter is already out of the house and she's an adult on her own, some of these things still apply, but you'll understand as I'm going through that this is primarily for younger daughters, maybe teenagers or into college. So let's get into them. First, she needs to hear from you, letting her know to respect herself. Now, we live in a world where it essentially says that everything is about sex. I mean, it only takes you 3 seconds to know that's true. Watch any TV show, any movie, look at any advertisement that you see, billboards, magazines, audibly hear it on the radio. That's what the entire world seems to be about right now. No, the world says that the girls have to show everything to everyone all the time, but of course that's not true. And you need to teach her that. You need to teach her to respect who she is. She's enough as she is. And teach her that there's power in mystery and the unknown. Number 2, she needs to hear you let her know that she's beautiful. Now, when she's younger, this might be a little bit easier because at that point, it's mostly external beauty that we're discussing. Her hair is beautiful. The dresses, maybe she has a tiara. She's beautiful as a young little girl in your life. Maybe you do nails together and makeup together, all those fun things you can do. And then as she gets older, you teach her and let her know that she's beautiful inside as well. It's not all about the external, it's about the internal. You need to tell her about the beauty of becoming an incredible, confident, amazing young woman who's growing into a good person. And number 3, she needs to hear you talk to her about demanding honor. And of course this is tied into respect. But she needs to know that any man in her life, or boy when she's younger, who dishonors her is not a man that should stay in her life. And you need to show her, set the example of what this means by how you treat her mother. Let your daughter see in the way you talk to and act around and care for her mother how a man is supposed to honor a woman. Number 4, you need to let her know that it's okay to say no to the guy. Now, this should almost go without saying, right? I mean, we have advertising campaigns about the fact that no means no, and you don't have to do what you're uncomfortable doing. But the reality is that girls who are growing up in the world today, they're dealing with a lot of pressures that folks my age or even younger than me really couldn't even comprehend. When I was doing research for my book, it caused me so much pain to learn about girls as young as 7, 8, and 9 years old already getting asked to send nude text messages and photos and just stuff that you wouldn't even imagine occurs. Let your daughter know it's okay to say no to that. It's possible she might be the only girl at school who is saying no, and she's going to get an enormous amount of pressure on her. Let her know it's okay. Let her know you're going to be there. And if she feels like, well, it might hurt his feelings, hurt his feelings. Let her know that in that situation, go ahead and hurt his feelings. She needs to know to say no, and you support her. Number 5, she needs to hear you let her know that she is valued as a person. And you not only value who she is right now, but you value who she's becoming as she's growing up and becoming a younger woman and then an adult herself. She needs to understand and feel that from you, Dad, you value who she is. Doesn't mean you agree with everything, but you value her as a person. If she doesn't feel like she gets this support and this valuing from you as her father, she's going to look for that as a replacement in the boys that she dates and the men that she dates when she's older. So she needs to know that you're valuing her for who she is. Number 6 is that she needs to know that she can count on you. Obviously, there are going to be challenges in life. There's going to be times when she screws up in major ways, stuff that you can't even imagine. Bad stuff is going to happen. There's no way to avoid that in life. But she needs to know that no matter what's going on, you're always going to be there. You're going to be the support for her. She can count on you. Again, it doesn't mean that you're always going to agree with everything, but she needs to know that when she falls down, you're going to be there to help pick her back up. You're going to give her a hug. You're going to get her back on her feet. You're going to help teach her what might have happened in this situation. How could things be different in the future? You're going to shut up and you're going to listen when it's time to do that. But she's going to learn that no matter what happens in her life, you're always going to be there for her. Number 7, and this is a big one that probably could be number 1, but I'm saving it to the end here because I really want to emphasize this point. She needs to hear you say, I love you. Now, it surprises me always when I hear from the women that I work with that they actually never heard those words from their fathers. And they don't even hear them from their husbands, which is a different conversation for another day. But guys, you have to say it. It isn't enough to just send a text message now and then, although that's great and you should do that. Same thing, it isn't enough to just write up an email now and then, although it's fine to do that as well. She needs to hear the words come out of your mouth. You are her only father, and your voice is unique in her life, and she has to hear you say those words. However you say it, honey, darling, sweetie, kiddo, it doesn't matter, but you have to say, I love you to your daughter. She's got to hear that from you. All right, guys, well, obviously a list like this could go on. At some point, you have to draw the line. The point is that you, as her father, you have a unique role to play in her life. It's your job to always be teaching her, to raise her up, to help her become a good person. And one of the ways you do that is by making sure she hears these 7 things from you, and not just one time, but on an ongoing basis as she's growing up. If you're doing this, you are doing your job as a dad. So be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. I'd love to read what you're thinking about this video. And if you know someone else who would like this, please go ahead and share it with them. That would be great. So thanks for watching. Until next time.